Hi, Yoni here. In today's video I will talk about why Elon Musk's DOGE is a scam and why it needs to be stopped. First of all, I'd like to point out one thing. I would fully understand if the Trump administration would care about the public debt of the United States and try to make cuts because of that. The US, as many other countries, likely has some federal spending that could be cut. And if they do it professionally with real auditors, take the time to do it properly, and do it in full transparency, I could understand it. Because public debt is too high in the United States. But this is not at all what is happening right now. DOGE is making tiny cuts in the federal spending while the US administration is cutting taxes, and those tax cuts will lead to higher public deficits and more public debt. This administration clearly does not care about public debt, and they use DOGE just to get rid of some institutions and people that they don't like. DOGE is failing at what it's supposed to do, which is to make cuts in public spending. And they also constantly lie about it. And that's the reason why I say that DOGE is a scam. They recently claimed to have cut 55 billion worth of public spending, but the Wall Street Journal found out that it was actually only 2.6 billion that they had managed to cut. They were counting old contracts and money that had already been spent in their cuts, and they were also lying about other numbers. For example, they claimed to have cut 8 billion, but it was actually 8 million. These people are not professionals, and Musk is a huge hypocrite. There is absolutely no transparency in DOGE. Musk is actually not even the official administrator, and yet he cries when journals try to find out who is actually working for the organization. The people working in it are really young and have no experience, and Musk wants to keep their names a secret. As I've said in a previous video, these young workers are like child soldiers, blindly obeying the orders of Elon Musk. The cuts they are making with DOGE are completely arbitrary. They cut important and useful spending such as air traffic control and cancer research, but they would never touch any spending that goes to Elon Musk's companies. And while DOGE makes these arbitrary cuts, Musk has time to tweet and attend podcasts, while also running several companies. And he dares ask workers to stop working from home. I repeat myself, but Musk is probably the biggest hypocrite in the world right now. And if Elon Musk was honest about his moves and intentions in DOGE, he wouldn't need to lie about them. But he keeps doing it on a daily basis. He's the biggest spreader of disinformation on X, and even Grok knows it. He probably doesn't differentiate the truth from lies anymore at this point. And on top of that, there are huge conflicts of interest. Elon Musk should not be anywhere near DOGE. The man who decides where federal spending needs to go and needs to be cut cannot at the same time receive federal funding for his own companies. Conflict of interest actually even falls short to describe the current situation. Musk would need to divest from his companies, but he's not going to do that. Over the years, his companies have benefited from $38 billion worth of government funding. And while he has benefited from that government funding, he's going to cut government funding from others, while also getting access to data that will be very useful for him and that he should never get access to. That data is going to benefit him in the long run. Some might get a feeling that DOGE only exists to benefit him and his companies, but I think that he's also taking a sort of revenge through it. He gets to destroy institutions that he doesn't like and to destroy people's lives as well. He probably likes that. These huge conflicts of interest are also the reason why he's not the administrator of DOGE, and why he's officially working as a special government employee instead. But even on that, he's actually above the law, because as a special government employee, he should not be able to criticize the government or past governments, and he keeps doing it. And that's not all. DOGE is not only pushing Elon Musk's interests, but it's also ruining US influence and soft power around the world. And that is a huge gift to enemies of the United States, including China and Russia. Everything Musk does benefits China and Russia in some way and hurts the US. He's an enemy of the United States and he's a traitor. Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin could not be happier with the return on investment they're getting through him. He's dismantling the US and ruining US alliances. He even recently said that he wants the US out of both NATO and the UN. And while he destroys the US internally, his own net worth keeps growing. And he's not planning to stop government contracts going to his own companies. Because as I said, he's a massive hypocrite. Anyway, as I said, DOGE is a scam, and Musk should not be able to do what he's doing. If Musk did not own Trump, Trump would have actually fired him a long time ago. But Trump is on board and he understands that DOGE is not about cutting public spending, but it's actually about destroying the US internally. Americans really need to stop these people before it's too late. The good news is that these people are not very good at what they're doing. They are obviously hurting the US and a lot of Americans, but they could do even more harm if they were a bit smarter. The best way you can help stop them is to make people around you aware of this issue. Talk to people around you and show them the sources. Show them the Wall Street Journal article, show them this video, and show them other examples of Musk's lies, and articles about how DOGE is failing. Make as many people around you aware as possible, while Democrat officials try to slow them down. And a reminder to people who still defend Donald Trump and Elon Musk, Americans who still do are blinded by their hate for Democrats. But Europeans have no excuse. Europeans who still defend Trump and Musk are today's version of those who defended the Soviet Union during the Cold War. They are pathetic losers and traitors. There is absolutely no excuse. But to get back on DOGE, why do you think that Musk is trying to destroy the US internally? Write your thoughts in the comments. That was it for today's video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.